within like 8 months from that last substance, I was free. You know, I believe I was free on the beach, but it required some work.
And why do you say 8 months? Like what stands out to you after those 8 months that you feel like I'm a completely different person?
I stopped thinking like I could wake up free, go to bed free. I never really thought about getting high or ever going back to that lifestyle. I think, and after 8 months, I had got my mother back in my life too. You know, I hadn't talked to my mother in probably about 4 years due to substance abuse issues. You know, so just flipping out, and to have my mother back in my life after that long, it was like, man, God. Not only did I have my mother back in my life, but my son now had a grandmother that he had never met.
Yeah.
It was a pretty special moment for them two to meet.
Yeah. Now that you look back, man, I mean, this is a crazy journey from just going to the beach and feeling like that was it,
Yeah.
to hearing this voice that now you connect, to being the voice of God and get into a church and going through the 12 steps. What other things have you would say have really kept you on this path, knowing that's been 2 years now?
Reaching out reaching out to a guy that's still struggling. You know, staying connected with people in the church. I've really I've really I've really cut down on what opinions I listen to today. You know, I really value the friendships that I've made at New Life because I know that the advice that I'm getting is good, godly advice, and I don't really listen to too much of the world anymore. If I continued to listen to the world, I'd probably still be on Suboxone or dead by now. I really made some deep, I don't know how to word it. The counseling, it's very therapeutic to sit down with somebody that's been through what you've been through,
Yeah.
and to give you godly advice. I undid more with a man of God than I had done in like 15 years of therapy. You know what I mean? I got out some deep-rooted issues with that man. Today, I stay connected to people in the church. I stay connected to people in recovery. If I see someone struggling, I offer a hand.
What would you say to someone that's in that lifestyle right now?
It's hard to see that you're in a lifestyle that you can't get out of, but that there is freedom from it. There is freedom from it, and there's a life beyond what you can comprehend right now. You know, if you're tired of living like this, and you want to be done, you can be done. You really can. You can. I think a lot of times we put these blockades in front of us, like I'll never. Almost like that self-worth. We put a very low self-worth on ourselves. Like, I'll never get married. I'll never be a father. I'll never have a kid. All those things are possible.
That's awesome. And outside of, because you said it, like the 12 steps, you felt like it wasn't the full thing that you needed.
Right.
And you mentioned, you know, your relationship with God. So how do you from your perspective, how do you talk to someone that's they're not religious, right? But they're like, I'm not into all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, and you weren't either, right?
Right.
So how do you see it for yourself? Like, how did that has helped you to be more than just religion? You know what I'm saying?
For me, I just try to be a living, breathing testimony of what God's done. So it's easier for me to say there's a God because, like I said, I was at the point where I was going to kill myself, to feeling freedom, and to now be sitting in front of you. It's a lot, you have to walk the walk. You have to. The things that got me well are really things that I thought at one time were goofy. You know.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at. Exactly.
Yeah. So it's humbling to get down on your knees. At first, I got down on my knees and I just asked God to just please keep me sober, and then that relationship grew. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm trying to say, because it's like sometimes people just think that the very thing that you're trying to stiff arm is the very thing you need.
Right.
You know, and not realizing that it's not about religion, really. It's about really connecting with the person that created you in the first place,
Right.
who can understand the hurt, the drive, the passion that you have, but also the desire to be free.
Right.
You know what I mean? And a lot of times, that's the part that sometimes people get hung up on. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because we go by just straight facts, but not realizing that, facts don't tell the truth, the whole story of your human being. You know,
Right.
like you said earlier, the vacuum in the heart, you know, the longing to feel alive or to feel connected. These are all spiritual questions, you know what I mean, that we have. And not realizing that sometimes we turn to these substances, not realizing that we're longing for something deeper than just that.
Right. It didn't start with somebody handing me a Bible and say, read the Bible. It
Yeah.
started with just another man trying to help me out and trying to get me comfortable with praying
Yeah.
and talking to God, just talking to him, building a relationship. That's where it started for me.
Yeah, which is awesome. You
Yeah.
know, to show like the power of community, just
Yeah.
with one more person
Yeah.
who cares enough to have a
She
conversation.
didn't want anything from me except to see me get well and be a father to my son.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is awesome. So now it's been 2 years
2 years.
since you've been here. What are you excited most about life right now?
The possibilities are endless, honestly. I mean, just to even be sober, it's awesome, but like, I want to live now. Like, I have a drive for life. I eventually would like to get married and own a home. Like, these are things I never thought were possible. I see my son go through college, you know, be a coach on a sports team, you
Yeah.
know, I teach my son how to fish, ride a bike. Like,
Yeah.
I've done all these things in 2 years that I never even thought were possible.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome, and that's what we pray, that your story can be an inspiration to someone out there, that there is hope, you know, and like none of us are too far gone, that there is a God who loves us, there's community of people that still cares, and I'm so happy to be able to stand here with you and hear you share your story and have this side of it,
Right.
as opposed to just one side. You know, a lot of times people just on that hopeless side, but thank God that there's hope, you know.
We put up this wall, you know, and the wall is really in our minds. There's really nothing that separates you from having a life worth living. It's just in your mind. You gotta put in some work and stop praying. That's really what I did in the beginning.
Awesome. Hey, thank you so much for sharing your story, man. I believe this is going to speak to a lot of people and help a lot of people, and we're so happy to have you as part of our church, and just we love you, we love your son, and it's awesome to see. And like we always like to say, the best is still yet to come, dude.
Yes.
All right? God bless, man.
Thank you.